everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we'll look at the long-awaited and highly anticipated Cartoon Network series, Infinity Train.
The first season, based off the popular pilot, follows 13-year-old Tulip as she finds herself on a mysterious train with an endless number of cars, each one its own universe, and she must find a way to get home.
Yeah, and remember, we had seen this thing come up a few years ago. It was a pilot, and people were going nuts over it. There was already fan art generating and theories and stuff out of a 5-minute pilot. Mm-hmm. So clearly it had potential anyway, and after a few years people were like, are you gonna greenlight this? Are you gonna greenlight this? Are you gonna greenlight this? And after a while it just seemed like they're gonna pass it on. People were getting pissed. It's like, why would you pass this up? This is a great idea. And then finally they announced it was coming to a series.
Well, thank goodness they're not Amazon, and they didn't do them like they did Eddie of the Realms Eternal and Heiston and other shows that were quality shows that never came on. So we can thank Cartoon Network for that.
Yeah.
And another thing is that Ashley
Johnson?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gwen Tennyson, one of the Gwen Tennysons, voiced the main character. So that was really exciting for us to hear.
Yeah, so the pilot came on in 2016, and it just premiered actually in 2019, back in August. Mm-hmm. And like I said, so many people are looking forward to this. When they finally announced it's going to be greenlit, they were just really, really thrilled. And it looks like originally it was going to be a mini-series. And that kind of put some people off, thinking like they waited this long and only did a few episodes. Mm-hmm. But some people were fine with it because it said, what if they don't want it to like run into the ground? Mm-hmm. But it looks like it was already so popular anyway that it originally was going to be a mini-series. But then when you finish the season at this point, right, you'll get a little teaser if they show it that the show would return.
Right, exactly. So
you already got a confirmation right at the end rather than waiting for something from Cartoon Network or something. They just already greenlit it immediately.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the voice actors you mentioned, one of the Gwen Tennysons, you also had Ernie Hudson, one of the original Ghostbusters. The actual cast, the voice acting cast, is a strange jumble of people. You had Kate Mulgrew, who was one of the first female captains in Starship.
Was it Enterprise?
Not Starship Enterprise. The Starship Enterprise is the name of the ship. In the Starfleet, she was one of the first female. She was the first female captain, and so it was odd when you were finding out who was doing the voices. These are people you normally wouldn't have put together in a series, or thought would work together in as doing voiceovers in an animated series, but they worked perfectly. Each one voiced characters that definitely fit them, and they really made the characters their own. So great job in the voice casting.
Right. And we gotta mention that this show was created by Owen Dennis, who was a writer and storyboard artist for regular show. So now you know where the dark tones come from when regular show would get those really weird episodes.
And all the 80s references.
Right. Because there was one time in the show where they had mentioned some songs, because with this show, Tulip goes into each car and it's non-sequential. So if you watch one episode, the first episode, you get to the next one, you're thinking, oh, you missed something? Right. No, it's supposed to mean a bunch of time has passed, so there wasn't time enough to go through every possible thing that the guy wanted to show. So it's like it starts in the middle of leaving one car and going to the next, and then that's what that episode's about.
Right.
So there was one car where there was some crystal place and you had to sing or something, a song from the heart, to open a gate, and it was singing all of these horrible songs that don't exist. And then one song that turned out to actually exist, Mama recognized me and said, "Oh my gosh, it's that song!" It was which one was it?
I gotta think about it. Let's see, which song was it? It was a cameo song, Word Up. And I said, that's an actual song. That's an actual song, Rascal. It's really real. And you're like, what? And I'm like, yes, that's a real song.
Yeah. Well,
it's from the 80s, as I said. They had so many 80s references.
Right. I was like, okay, clearly that influence is still in there.
And I thought what was really great, too, of course, that the arcs were fantastic, because they changed, you said, with each car visited, but there were lessons. She was learning lessons, and then the characters she was meeting were also learning lessons, and they all grew as it went on, even though it was a really short series.
Only 10 episodes.
Somehow in these very short 13-minute episodes, they were able to show character progression and growth.
Right.
Which was really, really fantastic.
Right. And as it goes on, they said some of them, there's not a lot of room for filler, so if they do have one, it's probably just really, really short. There's really no filler episodes because it's a constant going plot. And all the characters, like you have one who's this little robot, like it looks like he's bipolar or something. He's got a sad half and a glad half.
It made me think of Thing 1 and Thing 2 from Cat in the Hat.
And Atticus, who's this royal corgi, a king of corgis.
I loved it.
That's what Ernie Hudson's voicing. And you have the cat who's voiced by, like you said, Kay Mulgrew. And then you have the mystery of the steward and the conductor. And you can't reveal anything about that, but they definitely play a role as the the antagonist and stuff, because Tulip's trying to get to the train, and the number on her hand keeps going down as she's getting closer to the end. So it's kind of like figuring out how to get the numbers to keep going down, like what causes it to trigger, and then when it gets to 0, that's when she can go home.
Right. And don't forget to mention that Owen Dennis voice Sad One.
Oh yeah, and funny because he sounded exactly like Maurice LaMarche.
Yes.
I thought it was him at first till it said that, so he did a great impersonation of him because that sounded just like him.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing season 2. There was quirky, exciting, adventurous, smart, just
and
absolutely distinctive characters. When you were watching it, like when we watch some things and you look at it and you kind of say, well, this reminds me of this character, this reminds me of this show, or so forth. But when I was watching this, all I could say was 80s references, because it didn't really remind me of anything else we've ever seen.
Yeah, that's true. And one thing I definitely got to mention is that, Cartoon Network now has mostly Teen Titans Go or Teen Titans Go-esque shows because they're fast, they're quick. Yeah, and Steven Universe. And besides Steven Universe, We Bare Bears, and OKKO, most of the shows they have on, plus Teen Titans Go, is just the same formula of just being wacky, silly, goofy, crazy, spit out a bunch of episodes at once, just be really loud, really quick, and that seems to be the channel nowadays, minus the great gems in there, like we said, like the shows we mentioned. And shows like this, Infinity Train, a similar thing they had before was Over the Garden Wall. And I guess you could say Long of the Road. Long of the Road was more of a comedy, but think about this show and Over the Garden Wall. Both of them were kind of like callbacks to what Cartoon Network had when they have a variety of shows. And they would have action shows and dark and complex shows and comedy shows. You would get a whole different bundle of shows that you could pick and choose from, and all of them would be okay for you to watch. It seemed like Cartoon Network only allows shows like this only as mini-series, because Over the Garden Wall had the exact same form with only 10 episodes. A great story and a very gothic, dark, deep undertone. People gravitated toward it because it was greatly different from what this network had. And I think that's why Infinity Train was demanded so much. It was something different from Cartoon Network. It was back to when they were having those really complex shows and action, and it was the heyday. And by greenlighting this, it shows that it can have this again, whether short or long. It can have shows that aren't just Teen Titans Go and complete comedy, because this definitely had comedy in it, but it was in doses.
Right.
Because it was still a pretty dark story, especially as you get towards the end. And with this mystery, it had all of these elements that you really miss Cartoon Network having, and just having this great variety of it.
So if you got a chance to see Infinity Train on Cartoon Network, as well as the original pilot, let us know what you think in the comments below.
Yes. And if you haven't, please check it out. You can binge watch the thing in one day.
On demand.
It's or on the Cartoon Network app. It's only 10 episodes, and they're very, very short. They're
13
only
minutes.
About 13 minutes. There are no 30-minute episodes or anything, so you can finish it. You can finish it pretty quick, and I think you will definitely enjoy it, especially the mystery element.
Absolutely. And you get to hear, if you're a Ben 10 fan, you get to hear Alien Force Gwen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Asco Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Sucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the